Unghetto Matthew did a recent live stream with Tiffany Latrice, who is known for being a Rihanna lookalike and a content creator as well. And what was supposed to be a more happy-go-lucky stream where they do a social experiment at the mall, seeing if people will believe that she is Rihanna, turned into them no longer being cordial. So by the end of it, they both ended up having a negative reaction, trolling each other online. And this is the first time I've ever really seen Unghetto Matthew get out of character, meaning like him show a negative persona. He's typically more of a happy-go-lucky person. This is not me saying that he does not have that side to him, but it was very different to see him like this. During the live stream, you can see Tiffany progressively getting more irritated with the situation. And I believe the animosity that she had was built up from her wanting to get paid for the live stream, even though Unghetto Matthew has said that he does not pay. Exposure is how they pay one another. And this is not the first time that I've seen people do this, especially when you're doing like a interview / social experiment. A lot of times you do collaboration for collaboration. I have done collaboration for collaboration with content creators in my hometown of the DMV before, and it was for free, and the exposure was how we got paid, because you can clip different things from there and run your numbers up based on the other person's popularity. And I understand where she's coming from. He also said that he would have paid for her gas money. She turned that down. So that would have been one form of payment as well as the exposure. But she wasn't going for it. She wanted the money. And that ended up coming out towards the end of the stream. In my opinion, in this situation, she should have handled this sort of thing off camera and should have just played into the stream and used it for all the exposures that she could have gotten out of it. She could have ended up getting a Savage Fenty deal because they printed out a Savage Fenty poster. Imagine if she had played it all the way through and then clipped that and tagged Rihanna, and she might have gotten a deal. Always have the mindset of business first, emotions later, because this situation could have been a different type of exposure for you. But all exposure is seen as good exposure on social media, so maybe that's how she's looking at it. Matthew, this is a learning experience. Moving forward, if you ever feel like you've gotten that heightened amount of emotions, I would tell you to turn off your stream for a moment, regroup, have that cuss out moment that you had on camera in private with you and your team, and then come back on there once you've gotten your anger off and talk about the situation, because now it looks like you are less of a gentleman. When prior to, for the most part, most people, women specifically, felt comfortable coming on your stream because out of majority of the male content creators, you are one of those ones that don't make women feel uncomfortable. And I think after watching that moment, I know you were just angry, but some women are going to clip that and only see that and look at you as a bad guy, when really you were upset that someone talked shit about you. You tried to move past it, and then they tried to go even further to tarnish your image. And in that moment, you were having raw emotions, but the internet does not have the comprehension skills to understand that that was a moment of anger and not your entire character. And I'm going to leave both of you all this message from D'Era's most recent interview with Cam Newton.
When that happens, I kind of use the analogy of music making to content, because I always hear individuals who create music and ask, how much do you charge? Right? How much would you charge for a verse? And people put it in their music all the time. But when you genuinely are fans of people, it's like, I owe you a verse. And it's the same thing with content. It's like, why would I charge you when you have a platform and when you have a following? And me charging you now puts a stake in our relationship, just a smidge, rather than saying, hey, I do one for you, you do one for me, and then
that's what it's all about.
That's what it's
like
all about.
I don't think, because there's been times where, I get paid for my craft. I get paid to do certain things, brand deals, all of that. But it's also been times where I will take less of what I'm used to because I feel like the opportunity is bigger than the money. And bigger things come from opportunities and connections versus the money always. And I think that not all money is good money. That's always been my motto.